Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 4th grade concept of representing data. This is standard 4.9a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 7 off the 2019 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have heights of students in Mr. Garrison's class. We've got a little table right here. The table is already in a nice, neat order from 53 all the way down to 59 inches. So Mr. Garrison is making this dot plot, and it's incomplete. So we have most of our students in here, so we're looking for a height that is a missing data point. All right, so we need to match up the dot plot with our table, and then we're going to find one that's missing, and that is going to go into the bubble sheet portion of our answer document. So let's take a look at our table, and let's go ahead and simply, let's just put some numbers next to these. We've got some tally marks. That's fine. That's great for our frequency table, but when we're going to compare that to our dot plot here, sometimes I find it a little bit easier to just put numbers there. So 53 inches, we've got 2. 54 inches, we've got 1. 55 inches, we've got 5. 7 for 56. 3 for 57. And we're going to end with 1 and 2. So what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and just label underneath. You notice our dot plot actually runs from 52 to 60, but we don't use either of those. So rather than simply putting them as zeros on our table, we just don't list them on the table. So we've got 2 dots on 53, and that's fine. I'm just going to put a check mark there because that's what we need there. We've got 1 dot on 54, so that is looking good. And we're just going to keep doing this until we find the missing data point. So 55 and 56, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. We're going to have to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So 5 for 55, that is good. And then 56, maybe that's it because that's pretty big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, actually that's fine. 56 is fine with 7. So you can either count really big like that, or if you wanted to, you could have said, you know what? Those are both 5 because we knew that 55 was 5 up there. When we make dot plots, we have to make them even, so each dot lines up with the dot next to it. And we could have just started at this 5 and then counted 6 and 7. That also would have worked. So 57 is 2. That could be our problem right there because 57 should be 3. We're missing a dot right there. So let's just double check. 58 has got 1. Yes. 59 has got 2. And that's a yes. All right. So our missing data point is right here on 57. But there's no A, B, C, or D to choose from. We need to fill this in on our answer document. So that means we could do all of this correctly. We could analyze the problem and still get it wrong if we bubble it in incorrectly. So let's remember what our answer document looks like here. So we've got a little bubble sheet right here, and it's going to be kind of split up by this decimal point right here. So we've got this very thin column with a decimal point. There's no bubbles underneath it. And on the 4th grade answer document, you've got 2 spots to the right, and you've got 3 spots to the left of that decimal point. And in 4th grade and above, instead of starting everything at the ones place, we really start everything at that decimal point because that decimal point kind of anchors us and lets us know where we are. It's not labeled. That's the problem. So we need to know that this is the tenths and the hundredths over here on the right. We're not going to use either of these because we simply need 57. That's what we're looking for. So we've got our ones, we've got our tens, we've got our hundreds. We're going to label it just like this. We're not going to put a 0 in the hundreds, and we're going to leave the tenths and hundreds blank.